Hello, Queen.
Good afternoon, Queen. Welcome. Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining us. If you can see my face and hear my voice, give me a thumbs up or put your favorite emoji in the chat box. All right. I see a message from Mercy. Yes, I see emojis from Mercy and Grace. Awesome. Okay, well, it says Grace, but I see Victory's picture. So please let me know which of you is on. But welcome, welcome. I see a thumbs up. All right. Okay, I think that's Victory. I just heard a baby. So please, I'm going to drop the link for YouTube in the chat so that for those that might be having challenges joining, you can share the link with them. All right, so I have posted the link in the chat. Please feel free to disseminate widely the YouTube link so that we can get started. We have just 1 hour for today's launch event, and I am so pumped to do this, but we have to really keep to time. We have 2 minutes for me to wrap up my introductions, or no, I have probably a few more minutes. But please let us know where you're joining us from in the chat box. Let me not forget to introduce myself. I am Onyinye Ede Vincent, and I am the founder and Chief Empowerment Officer at Strong Enough Girls Empowerment Initiative. And I am tuned in right now from Maryland in the United States of America, where it is 8:03 a.m. So it's 8 o'clock in the morning. Type in the chat box where you're tuning in from. And if we can kindly ask that everyone mute yourself as you join to ensure that today's event moves smoothly. Okay, I don't see any responses in the chat box. Where are you tuned in from? I see Mubarak is tuned in from Abuja. All right. Margaret is also tuned in from Abuja. Aderonke from Lagos. Thank you for being here. Victory from Abuja. All right. Please share the YouTube link widely. I see some people are still struggling to join us. So please share widely because we will be getting started shortly. Mercy all the way from Amsterdam, Netherlands. Nice, nice, nice. All right, we have Clinton from Owerri, Nigeria. Thank you for being here, Clinton. Okay, actually, my time is up for introductions and welcome. But once again, I welcome each and every one of you to today's event. We're really excited to launch this manual, which you will get to hear more about as we proceed with today's program. So it is my delight now to welcome my very good friend and partner in progress, Margaret Bolaji Adebola, to take us through an overview of the GAGE project. All right, over to you, Margaret.
Thank you so much, Onyinye. I hope you can hear me, everyone.
I can hear you.
Oh, good to know. And good afternoon from Nigeria, from Abuja. We're super excited today is here and we're happy to launch this very valuable, incredible manual. And of course, ahead of that, it's good to take some few steps backwards and say, where are we coming from, and to link it with where we are right now and where we see ourselves going. And of course, I think most of us here, either we're guardians or parents, or we're girls ourselves, or we've also been able to support girls. We know in 2021, Segai and SWAG launched the Girl Advocate for Gender Equality project, which was funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. And the goal of this project was to equip adolescent girls, specifically 36 adolescent girls, with the resources, the knowledge, and skills that they need to be able to champion gender equality in Nigeria, in their different communities, their different schools, and wherever they are. Of course, while the goal was to reach these 36 girls who are, can I have my screen back, if possible?
Yes, please. Just a quick minute. I see a number of people in the waiting room. So if you're an admin, please make sure you're admitting people into the meeting. All right, Margaret, sorry about that. Let me project your screen. All right.
No worries. Yes. So just speaking to the overview, I think it's also important to say that those 36 girls were actually carefully selected to represent in case you're on, kindly mute your mic if you're not speaking. I mean, it does happen at times. You don't even know when it goes on mute. So help us check that. Thank you so much. So, okay. I think we need to help. Okay. Again, kindly mute your mic if you're not speaking. Thank you so much for doing that so we can have a seamless meeting. Okay, I would go on. And if it's possible for admin to mute everyone except the person speaking, that would be perfect. Okay, so GAGE projects. Girl Advocate for Gender Equality. I was speaking to the fact that we selected the 36 girls who were from the 6 geopolitical zones in Nigeria, and we were also particular that they represent the diversities that we see among girls. So girls from rural communities, girls with disability, girls with HIV/AIDS, and other marginalized group of girls that we have in our country. And of course, moving to the next slide, we were particular about ensuring that they meet these 5 objectives. One is that we're promoting to promote a supportive environment for meaningful participation of adolescent girls. We also want to see them champion gender equality and be change agents in their schools and their communities. We also wanted to be able to increase political commitments when it comes to the review, the reform, as well as implementation of policies, particularly the ones that speaks to gender equality, including sustainable funding, and also increasing media reportage on gender equality. And lastly was making sure that we're getting the necessary buy-in of stakeholders. That includes the parent, the traditional religious leaders, the teachers, and other stakeholders. Like we always say, girls do not exist in isolation. So it's absolutely important that we're moving along with all of their caregivers, the stakeholders around them in order to achieve our goal. The next slide. And then we were focused on 5 thematic areas. One is gender-based violence. That was more specific, but of course, that is still under the umbrella of sexual and reproductive health and rights. Also, girls' education, innovation and technology, very important, as well as female leadership across the mentorship that we did for those girls. These were reoccurring thematic areas that we ensured we covered, and a lot more. Next slide, please. Of course, I wouldn't want to dwell more on the key activities because all of that is represented in our key results. So I'll just go straight to the next slide of our results. Yes, so at the end of this project, which was a one-year project, we were able to have 36 girls capacity built on advocacy and leadership skills. Those girls had both in-person training and virtual training via the mentorship platform. We also had 12 media organizations, including social media bloggers, trained on gender-sensitive reportage. The great thing about engaging media in this sense was not all saying, oh, drop everything you're doing and just come and do gender equality. It was to ensure that they mainstreamed these key messages, and they were also not perpetuating the myths and misconceptions that we see when it comes to gender-sensitive reportage. And so we were glad to have been able to support this media personnel to do this great work of mainstreaming gender and using the gender lens in their reporting. We also had 6 solid, I'm adding the word solid, mentorship session for the girls advocates. And of course, we want to say thank you to our amazing mentors who did extremely great job. Also, 12 mentors were assigned to groups of girl advocates based on the selected thematic areas. I did mention the 5 thematic areas. We were particular about ensuring that these mentors are able to, different mentors taking different subject matters, and they're able to help the girls navigate those key topics. Also, we had girl-centered interviews with media organization to increase gender-sensitive reportage. So beyond just training the media, we were able to leverage on High Points Day, like International Day of the Girl Child, several other important days in the year, to have our girls do media chats, speak to media about those issues that is very dear to their hearts and they're passionate about. We also had advocacy training for over 300 girls. The good thing about this was not us anymore, because it was a girl-led advocacy. Girls were trained and then they're able to replicate same and cascade it to other girls in their communities. So we find the girls going to schools, to their communities, to church, to mosques, different places, speaking to their peers and helping to also raise other advocates, which was such a great outcome for us as organizations coming to support girls. And lastly, which is not the least, is the review of the gender policy from the Ministry of Health and Education, as well as budget and planning. So we were able to have a report that really encapsulates the different policies on gender-related policy that affects girls' education, health, as well as finance. Next slide, please. As I wrap up. Of course, we did encounter. Kindly mute your mic. Thank you so much. We did encounter some challenges which we had reported at the closeout of Gauge, but maybe to also bring us to bear on a few of this. So at some point, it was difficult getting the right data from the ministries, and it was impossible to know all of the gaps that exist. So we continue to work with this line ministries, departments, and agency to make sure that we're getting the right data for decision making. We also know for some girls, they had varying school calendars. Remember that these are girls from different parts of the country, from different, representing different diversities of girls. So some were in boarding school at some point, so they miss out on some of the mentorship sessions. So it was some of the challenges that we did experience. We'll go to the next one. Okay, we learned a lot of lessons, and that is where I would hand over back to Onyinye. One is that we needed to continue to work with the relevant ministries, departments, and agencies from the start. And this we have really included in the work that we do, including registering with these different MDAs. It was also important to make sure that the mentorship sessions are effective by producing. And one way I will tell you is getting a manual, which we're glad that we are launching after 2021. We're here again to launch the manual. We also did say that it would be great that we have parents and guardians as mobilizers for girls' community engagement. At the scratch, we wanted to have different persons serve as community mobilizers, but we learned this great lesson even by interacting with parents. Again, thanks to all our Gage parents, the girls' parents, because they were very supportive and they were the perfect mobilizers we had always wanted. So it was a great lesson for us that we continue to move into the different projects that we're working. So just to say thank you to everyone that has been part of the Gage project, and of course our sustainability is to make sure that we keep up, and on the chat we continue to interact with those girls, share opportunities when they come, and in fact that's what has also got us to this point where we're able to mobilize them to join the meeting. So this is me saying thank you girls, thank you to the parents and everyone, and I hand over to Onyinye and welcome us back to today when we're really super excited that we're launching a manual from all of what we have learned from this wonderful project. Over to you, Onyinye.
Thank you so much, Margaret. Thank you. I hope everyone was able to hear and see the slide presentation. So without much ado, once again, welcome. I know a lot more people joined us since Margaret started her presentation, but now I want to hand it over to my colleague, Irene, to engage us in a bit of interactive activity so that we can get to know and hear from some of our audience members. Irene, over to you.
Thank you so much, Mrs. O. Thank you. I hope we're all doing fine. I hope we are all doing well. It's such a beautiful Saturday. So, my question for the audience, please feel free to answer. You might win something, who knows? So my question for the audience is, what comes to mind when you hear the word mentorship? When someone tells you, I have a mentor, or you need mentorship, what do you think the person is trying to tell you? What comes to mind? Please feel free to put in your answers in the chat box, and I'll read some of your responses out. Okay, we don't have any response yet. Okay, Mercy Bolaji says direction in life. So to Mercy, mentorship means direction in life. Thank you so much for that response, Mercy. So who else wants to tell us what mentorship means to them? Mrs. Onyinye, is that time to unmute and speak in case the person doesn't want to type in the chat box?
Yes. Please feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself.
All right. Okay, we have some response.
All right. Irene, are you with us? It seems we lost your audio. Queen, are you able to?
Can we get more responses?
Okay, never mind. Irene is back with us.
Okay, we have a response from Emmanuel. Someone more experienced training another due to their own experience. Mentorship means to me that someone is coaching me and guiding me in a particular way so as to get a role in my career. Thank you so much for your response, Emmanuel. Please, if you don't have a response to the question, kindly unmute yourself. Kindly mute yourself, sorry. Aderonke Mary says relationship between two individuals, mentor and mentee. A
Irene,
mentor to me.
there are a couple of hands up. I see Emmanuel twice though, so maybe they can.
Okay. So Emmanuel, please unmute yourself and give us your response, please. Emmanuel?
Okay, sorry, Irene. I noticed that there are several Emmanuels on here. Maybe the link was shared, but if you have your hand raised, kindly check your name and ensure that you rename yourself, because right now what we see is 2 Emmanuel Ademo, I think Ademo Lekons. So this is a good point for everyone to check your name, your Zoom name, and rename yourself to make sure that we know who is on here with us. And thank you so much for complying. In the meantime, if you're not able to unmute yourself, please type your answers in the chat. And back to you, Irene.
Okay, thank you so much, Mrs. O. So we have some very beautiful responses here. Does someone want to talk?
Yes, hi. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you just fine.
All right. My name is Rachel, and I think a mentor is someone who is, more vast in experience in a particular field or career which you're interested in, and that person is available to guide and direct, your path towards achieving the place that person has achieved in his or her career. So the person is available to guide you. It may not be virtual, it may actually be on-ground guardians or virtually. So a mentor is not restricted to someone from your nationality or someone who you can see regularly as well. So that's my contribution.
Wow, thank you so much. That was so packed, Rachel. Thank you. So does any other person have any other thing to add? Was that Emmanuel?
Can I go next?
Yeah, sure, you can.
Okay, my name is Kogola David, speaking from Kenya, Kisumu. According to the question, my answer is a mentor is somebody who has a vast experience, skills, and knowledge towards a given field that can give guidance and directions towards somebody who is not much more experienced in the same field to achieve the goal, or maybe achieve the aims and goals the one is maybe have put in place to achieve. A mentee is the recipient, somebody who is there to be mentored. There was somebody who is able to receive the mentorship. So that's according to me. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. That was awesome. We have some responses in the chat. And Clinton says, in summary, it's supportive, guidance-based relationship where an experienced person helps another in personal or professional growth. Thank you. These are all awesome responses. So one more question that I have is, when you hear the word safe space, because I believe that a mentee and a mentor relationship should always happen in a safe space, what comes to your mind? What do you understand by the term safe space? Safe space, guys.
Hello. Hi.
Yeah. Hi.
Back again. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear
you.
you.
Okay.
Yes.
A safe space is a place that is I don't want to use the word safe again, but somewhere that is free from perceived danger or judgment, and a place where a person is free to express his or herself or seek refuge.
Okay, thank you. I can see some responses in the chat. Mercy says, it's a place where I can let it all out without being judged. Yes, thank you. And Ajoke says, a place where an individual can freely express themselves. Renato says safe space is an environment in which a person feels free and safe, comfortable to share with their mentor, free of prejudice, and can feel free to speak their mind. Thank you so much. These are all awesome responses. David, you still want to say something?
Yes, according to me, safe space is an environment or a working space where somebody is not restricted based on the racism, based on the color, based on the gender, based on the identification or maybe the race. So if somebody freely can express without any restriction based on the other things that I've said.
Okay, thank you. These are all awesome responses. So I think we'll pass it on to Mrs. Onyinye now to take us through on the next part of the agenda. Thank you all so much for your responses. Thank you for being so awesome. And all the answers were correct and very accurate. Thank you all so much.
Awesome. A round of applause for each and every person that participated. Please put a round of applause, put some applause, hearts, confetti, just throw some emojis in the chat box because we're getting ready for the main event, the main event. I need to feel some energy though, because we're not going to launch this manual if I can't feel the energy. I told you it's 8 a.m. here where I am. For many of you, it's like afternoon time. So I hope there's still some energy, and it's Saturday. So some of us might have already gone to what we call Owambe in Nigeria. I don't know in Kenya. I'm so excited to hear David from Kenya. So I don't know what happens in Kenya on Saturdays, but in Nigeria, Saturdays are known for Owambes, pretty much parties. You have weddings, you have birthdays, you just have celebrations. Oh my goodness, Deborah Russell, Debbie. I love it. I love the energy. I mean, Debbie's energy is enough for me right now. And I think it's a good place for us to go ahead and launch the manual. Do we want to see this manual? Say yes, or throw an emoji. Are we ready? Are we ready? Are we ready? I see Kenya is in the house. Please, are there any other countries represented? I know there's a lot of Nigerians on here, straight from Niger. Are there any other countries represented right now? Oh, I saw the Netherlands. Yes. Zimbabwe is in the house. All right. Oh, Tanzania. Oh, okay. Margaret, can you see this? I think this manual is going places. All right. All right. Please, if I haven't mentioned your country, please feel free to put your country in the chat box so that we can recognize you. And right now, I'm going to get us into the launch event so that we can hear more about this manual. And I ask that everyone please listen and pay attention to the PowerPoint presentation. Thank you so much.
All right. Now we want to walk you through our mentorship manual. We have entitled this manual, Mentoring Adolescent Girls, a Manual for Mentors. This manual has been developed by SEGI, which is Strong Enough Girls Empowerment Initiative, and Stand With a Girl Initiative. It's a quick and easy guide on how to mentor adolescent girls. Just a little overview about the organizations. Strong Enough Girls Empowerment Initiative is a nonprofit organization that is led by women and focused on youths. We aim to ignite, nurture, and harness the intellectual and social strengths of young women and adolescents through education, mentorship, and life skills development. Our goal is to promote strong character, excellence, good health, and a better community for all. We also have Stand With a Girl initiative, which is a youth-led organization that is dedicated to ensuring that every girl in Nigeria, no matter where she is born or found, is empowered to fulfill her maximum potential. The goal is to promote a safe and supportive environment for the social, economic, academic, and healthy development of girls in Nigeria. So this manual has different topics, and we provide a table of contents for your overview. And as you can see, the topics are listed on this page. The manual starts with a preface, which just gives an introduction to the project that was implemented between April 2021 and April 2022, which was known as the Girl Advocates for Gender Equality Project. And then we discussed the purpose of the manual. Essentially, this manual is for women who want to serve as mentors and create a safe space for teenage girls to learn about navigating their adolescent years and promoting gender equality. We're particular about women using this manual because we believe that there's power when girls receive mentorship from women. We also have a little word or a brief word from the founders of SEGAI and SWAG Initiative. Feel free to take a read. We share some testimonials from three of the girls, Deborah Ogbonna, Ene Naomi Okpe, and then Rukaya Idris. We also highlight the people who contributed to the development of this manual, including our girl advocates, our mentors, and members of the SEGAI and SWAG teams, including our fabulous book designer, Teresa. We think it's important that we include some of the core principles that guided the development of this manual. And these core principles are listed here, including safe space, equity, inclusion, empowerment, inspiration, and authenticity. We provide a glossary of terms just so that you can be familiar with some of the acronyms and the terms that are used in the manual. There are 6 chapters in this manual. The first chapter is focused on defining what mentorship is. The second chapter talks about how to structure your mentorship experience or your mentorship session with an adolescent girl or a group of girls. We also go on to differentiate the different kinds of structures that SEGAI and SWAG have implemented, which are the group and the individual mentorship structure. So you can learn more about the differences. Chapter 3 provides some strategies for effective mentorship, including setting clear goals, creating a safe environment, starting with an icebreaker, discussing the objectives of the session, and encouraging questions and feedback from the girls. Chapter 4 provides some essential topics that we believe all adolescent girls need to know about. And these topics include body image and self-esteem, gender roles, stereotypes, puberty, menstruation, and hygiene, also adolescent sexual and reproductive health, all the way to understanding gender equality and equity, girl-led advocacy and leadership, and also why it's important for girls to pursue science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Chapter 5 provides some do's and don'ts of mentorship, just informing mentors on what are some of the things that they should be mindful of in a mentorship relationship with an adolescent girl. Chapter 6 concludes with our advice to mentors. This advice was received from the Gauge mentors, the mentors that participated in the project, and we think they're going to be valuable for adult women who want to mentor adolescent girls. The manual wraps up with a couple of examples of mentorship lessons, and we provide a template for how a session should be run. The first example we provide is on building a healthy self-esteem. So we provide a template, a timed template that tells you how you should begin the session, what you should include and talk about in the session, and how you should wrap up and conclude the session. The second example of a mentorship lesson that we provide is on female leadership. So just providing a template. And as we talk about in the manual, this is just a template that is supposed to be adapted to the particular context, and also based on the country, understanding that the experiences or the examples you use should be context based. And then we also provide some girl-friendly activities, just some suggestions for what kinds of activities and exercises you can do with girls during a mentorship session, including role playing, having a time for journaling and reflection, doing some arts and crafts, doing a vision board exercise, bringing in some guest speakers, having some group discussions, and also potentially doing some dance activities with the girls, because we know that girls love to dance. And then, of course, we conclude with providing some helpful links to resources that you can also check out. So that is an overview of the Mentoring Adolescent Girls Manual created by SEGAI and SWAG Initiative. This project was funded by the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, and SWAG and SEGAI were awarded the grants, the Generation Equality Forum Youth Grants, to implement this project from 2021 to 2022. And we are so excited to have been able to compile this manual based on the lessons we learned from working with adolescent girls for a year. Thank you for listening.
All right, all right, all right. A round of applause. Can you guys at least appreciate me for giving you that warm and lovely and just calming overview of the manual? Or I don't know, maybe I'm just the one, I'm the only one feeling myself. Okay, well, if you appreciated that overview, yes, show me some love in the chat box. All right, thank you all so much. I hope you all actually enjoyed listening to it and actually got to get a sense of what this manual is all about. Of course, we're going to share how you can get a copy of this manual, but we wanted to give you a glimpse into what this manual contains. All right, I'm going to hand it over to my colleague, Grace. Grace, I just need you to confirm that you are online and ready to go. Is Grace on here? Because we want to hear from some of our participants. This is time for them to tell us what this manual means for an adolescent girl. Is Grace on? Otherwise, I can proceed. All right. I'm not seeing Grace. So let me go ahead and invite one of our Gauge mentee and brilliant adolescent girl, Deborah Russell. Debbie, are you ready to just share in a couple of minutes? What does this manual mean for you as an adolescent girl? And also just tell us about your experience on the Gauge project. Over to you, Debbie.
Okay, thank you so much, Ma. And good afternoon, everyone. My name is Deborah, and I was privileged to be an advocate for gender equality under the Gauge 2021 project by SWAG and SEGAI. Today, I just want to take you through on how the manual will be impactful for girls. I know you have so many questions like, what do I gain as a girl with this manual? And that is what I'll be enlightening you about. But first of all, I just want to give my own definition of what mentorship is. Mentorship in its simplest form is a relationship between two individuals in which one person, the mentor, shares knowledge, expertise, and guidance with the other person, the mentee, to help them achieve their goals. A mentorship relationship can be formal or informal and can take place in workplace, school, or the community. Now, how will the manual be impactful for both girls and mentors? The Mentoring Adolescent Girls Manual is designed to help adolescent girls understand the benefits of having a mentor and how to find and connect with a suitable mentor. It also provides guidance on what to expect from a mentoring relationship and how to make the most of it. The manual covers so many topics and offers advice on how to handle challenges that may arise. Now, for mentors, it is also important to know that it is a resourceful tool for mentors because it provides a framework for how to best support girls during their formative years. As you all know, this is a critical time in a girl's life when they are forming their sense of self and their place in the world. The manual offers guidance on how to help girls build confidence, develop healthy relationships, and make informed decisions about their future. It also provides practical strategies for dealing with common issues such as body image and others. So, like some of the topics included in the manual are body image and self-esteem, gender role, stigma, stereotypes and inclusion, puberty, menstruation and hygiene, adolescent sexual and reproductive health, healthy relationships, mental health awareness, gender-based violence, amongst others. Lastly, why is mentorship even important in the first place? Is it necessary? For girls, mentorship is important because it provides a safe space for them to discuss challenges and opportunities unique to their gender. It also allows them to connect with a role model who can provide guidance and support as they navigate the world. Studies have shown that girls who have access to mentorship have been shown to have higher levels of self-confidence and self-esteem. They are more likely to pursue higher education and career opportunities. Additionally, they are less likely to engage in risky behaviors and more likely to feel supported and connected to their community. Mentorship can also help to reduce the risk of girls developing depression or anxiety and can provide a source of stability during difficult times. It can even be a tool against violence, abuse, and exploitation. So, this is all. And personally, I feel like Swag and Segai have done a really great job because already you know what mentorship is. I know the importance of it. Now, Swag and Segai saw the need for girls to be well informed about decisions and know more, know more about how to navigate life. And they decided to create this manual, which is helpful to both the girls and the mentors at large. My experience during the Gauge project was actually pretty interesting because it's something that I never saw coming that soon. It was interesting because I got to interact with so many girls from across the states. I made new friends. We were about 36. I made new friends. And up to today, I still connect with them and I'm able to interact with them. And then we had different thematic sections. There were sessions on financial literacy, STEM, female leadership, and others. But the session I loved most was the session on tech because I'm actually like a tech enthusiast. So I love the session on tech. We learned about robots and the rest. We also had breakout session and others. And then, mind it was like a 2-day program. And it didn't just end there. When we arrived back to our various destinations, we were asked to teach what we've learned to other girls in our community. So I organized 2 different interactive sessions in my community in a school where I got to teach girls about self-esteem, leadership, and the rest. And the feedback I got from them were really amazing. And thanks to SWAG, so we also asked to do like a community project. For my project, I donated chairs to a church around my area. Not like I attend the church, but I saw that they needed these things, so I donated this. And I made sure to let them know that it's not just my making, and it's backed up by Swag and Segai. So yes, that is pretty all I have to say about the mentorship session in Abuja and how this manual will be impactful to girls. Thank you very much.
Oh, let's just celebrate Debbie. Thank you so much, Debbie. And please just say girls are wonderful. You can type it into the chat box because girls are amazing. And I mean, without any bias or any favoritism, I have to say that the 36 girls that participated in this project are some of Nigeria's most brilliant and just most amazing young women. I mean, I was blown away. Debbie is just a little taste of the talents and just the fabulousness of our girls. And I'm sure Margaret and other of my team members can attest to this. Because we're running out of time, we have 15 more minutes to wrap up today's event. We quickly want to call on engaged parents. Do we have a parent, Margaret? Is our parents available and ready to speak to us about their experience with this project and why this mentorship manual matters before we go on to our mentor?
Yes, so we hear Mrs. Aderonke Adebola is on, I believe. So you're here. You're welcome to.
The floor is yours. Thank you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. And good morning over there, Oyiye. All right, I'm happy to be here this afternoon. And before I proceed on what I have to say about the manual, I just want to appreciate the Sege and Swag for the opportunity given to our girls to attend the mentorship program that was organized some 2 years ago, I think. It's a very, very beautiful program that has built great confidence into our girls, my girl in particular. I remember when she was to engage other girls in our community, she engaged with some students in our school who happens to be our senior mates. They are ahead of her, 2 years ahead of her. But because of the confidence and the courage she has gotten from this program, the mentorship program, she developed great interest and boldness to stand before them and to speak with them. And being a teacher in the school, I was able to organize the students, and we have a quite number of them. Ordinarily, she won't be able to stand before our seniors to talk to them. But because of the courage and the boldness she got from the mentorship program, she was bold enough to address them. And these students are doing very, very beautifully well. And I can also testify that one of them in particular, who currently is a senior girl in the school where I teach now, started developing the courage and the boldness to speak out from that engagement, because I heard a staff telling me that her response, she responded and we had a video clip of her, that was the first time she's been outspoken, she's able to express herself. And as I speak currently, she's the head girl of the school and they are all doing very well. So thank you very much, Sege, and thank you, Swag. So I just want to quickly say what mentorship is to me. I believe it's a relationship between two individuals, the mentor and the mentee. And one of the individual, the mentor, happens to be an experienced and knowledgeable individual who guides and supports a less experienced person, that is the mentee. And also, I would like to just mention 3 out of so many importance of mentorship. I have here, mentorship increases your confidence. So as an individual, if you have somebody who is your mentor, the mentee becomes so courageous, confident, and bold enough to express herself anywhere and at any time, which I have seen in the life of my daughter and so many other students around me. It also helps to identify and achieve career goal. With a good mentor, a student or a child or a mentee is able to get focused and achieve our goal with all passion and with confidence. It also gives access to a mentee to have, it helps a mentee to have access to a role model. There are times children or an individual will desire to be close to certain persons, but through this process of mentorship, it gives such individual an access, a free access to an adult who is able to put them through. So it's a very, very important program. Then also being a two-way relationship, both the mentor and the mentee gain new knowledge and friendship. For example, the mentor develop mentoring or coaching skill through the process of mentorship. So I believe this manual is going to be a very big material that will enable both the mentor and mentee to gain new knowledge and also develop skills that will enable them to move on in the right way. I've seen from the manual that we have series of topics which personally make a lot of meaning to me. Like we have mentors and mentees. I think one of it is it can be used as a personal resources or a personal material in girls' club. So this manual, you go through it, you can use it not only for yourself, it can be introduced into school. You can take it to your clubs in school, particularly girls' school like the one I have here. Such materials will be very, very useful. And also it's loaded with information like what mentorship is. From this particular material, you can get information of what mentorship is. You can also get information about strategies for effective mentorship. To be a mentor is not just a program or a thing you just wake up in a day and just start doing. There are strategies for it. And I'm seeing from this material that strategies to be able to achieve this is highly loaded therein. And another interesting part that we can get from this manual are the do's and don'ts of mentorship. So I believe generally that this material that is being launched today is highly loaded with beautiful information that will give us a better life as mentors and mentees. Thank you very much.
Oh, thank you so much, Mrs. Aderonke Mary. Okay, I know we said girls are awesome. Yes, mothers are even more awesome. Their mothers are just wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So I want to say thank you so much, Mrs. Aderonke. Thank you for your support because we couldn't have done this project without the support of parents and guardians. I can say a lot more, but I know we are running very short on time. So I will quickly bring up one of our mentors, Mrs. Oyeyemi Piton, to just share her reflections, and we will try to wrap up soon. I see there are questions about how can we get this manual. I know. Don't worry, we're going to be delivering them to your doorpost very soon. Okay, but let's quickly hear from Mrs. Oyeyemi, and we'll let you know how you can get a copy of this manual. Mrs. Piton, are you there?
Yes, I'm here.
Okay, over to you.
Thank you so much. Good afternoon, good morning, good day, everyone. So, as rightly introduced, I'm Oyeyemi Piton, the Executive Director for GEMOB Initiative, and I'm also one of the mentors for the GAGE project. A big congratulations to Segai and Swag. This is very, very commendable. Thank you for this gift of a manual so that mentorship can actually be guided. You know, like Mrs. Aderonke said, that there are do's and don'ts, right? There are strategies for effective mentorship. So I know that this manual is a gift to everyone, is a gift to the world. Some girls were trained some years back, like 1 year ago. And with this manual, we can actually reach more adolescent girls. So what does this manual mean for adolescent girls? It means that there could be more effective mentorship, program. Not really, like we said, it can be formal and informal. So there could be more effective mentorship, going on for all girls, everywhere. So it's not limited to girls. And like the manual says, there are formal and informal mentorship, right? That can actually a mentorship structure that can actually take place. And so with this manual, it helps parents, it helps women, it helps adults to be able to actually know how to go about mentorship and different topics. I was part of the GAGE mentors, like I rightly said the other time. And it's so beautiful because we made use of technology. And so there was a WhatsApp group. And so it was a group mentorship program. And the girls, after one-on-one they had with Swag and Segai, they were actually, on a particular WhatsApp group. And even for the mentors, we also had a WhatsApp group where we were, communicating, and there are different expertise in different areas, like rightly mentioned in the manual. There are different topics. And so Segai actually picked mentors from different fields who are actually experts on different fields, put them together so that these adolescent girls could have access to them. And so there were financial literacy, advocacy and leadership, across all those topics on the manual. So girls had access. So one of the things this will mean for adolescent girls will be that you can have access to different experts at the same time if you are on the group mentorship program. And of course, with one-on-one, it means that it's more like maybe you need more intense and expertise, to be administered to you. And that's the one-on-one mentorship program, which is also good because with that one, there's a back-to-back kind of guidance and being led and being linked to opportunities. One of the things mentorship does would be that you are guided. You have rights, you have access to the person. Even now that we can make use of technology. And so you can actually pick whoever your mentor wants to be from anywhere. So your mentors don't have to necessarily be in your immediate environment. If you like someone or you think there's a particular person that can actually support you, that you admire, you can actually make use of technology. WhatsApp, as small as WhatsApp, can actually do the magic because it's about guidance. And what that helps you, you will not make mistakes that other people have made. Your mentors have gone ahead of you. Probably they've made some mistakes. You can learn from their mistakes. You don't have to make mistakes to get things right. And then they link you to opportunities. So for adolescents, you can have access to a mentor who already has like a broad view of wherever it is that you want to go and can actually link you to opportunities. So kudos to Segai and SWAG. Congratulations to adolescents everywhere because this manual means a whole lot. Parents, women everywhere can actually use this manual to go about their mentorship program. Thank you, everyone. Congratulations to us all.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Piton. Please let's celebrate Mrs. Oyeyemi Piton because without the mentors, we also wouldn't have been able to do this. And the mentors volunteered their time. I think we gave them a little stipend and certificates, but what they poured into the girls, oh my goodness, what they poured into the girls. Many of us were like, geez, we wish we had this kind of information when we were younger. Some of us wouldn't have made the mistakes that we did. But so that's why we're just so grateful to have mentors like Mrs. Oyeyemi to guide us on this process and also to guide our girls. All right, without further ado, we want to open up the floor. I know people have comments, people have questions. We want to hear from you now. What has resonated with you? What questions do you have? Or do you just want to say something? Yes, say something about anything you've heard today. So the floor is open. Please feel free to raise your hand if you can use the raise hand feature or type your comments in the chat box. Oh, let me not forget to say this. At SWAG and Segai, we are very intentional about our programming. And one thing that goes with intentionality is about making sure that the right people that need to be engaged are engaged. And I say that to note that we engaged the government in Nigeria through the Ministry of Education when we implemented this project. Even in designing this manual, we sought their feedback and we had several meetings with the Ministry of Health and also Ministry of Education colleagues. They are not here today because they gave us some feedback that we would need to implement when we take this to scale. So I just wanted to note that we would have loved to have a government representative on here, but they're not able to join us today, but do know that we are carrying them along in this process because we cannot mentor girls if the government is also not committed to empowering the next generation of leaders. So I want you to know that we're working with the Ministry of Education, Ministry of Health to ensure that this manual can be used in girls' clubs, but we know that we only work with 36 girls. So Nigeria has so many other girls. So we look forward to even moving this mentorship manual to the next level. All right. Are there any questions? Please unmute yourself. The floor is yours now. Okay, I'm going to read out the questions in the comment. Oh, wait, am I taking somebody's job? Who is supposed to be leading this part? Queen, I think I'm going to hand this over to you. Queen?
I'm happy to let you do it. All right, it's really amazing to hear. And well done, kudos to everyone who contributed to making this. and this for success. We have, I think the most popular question is, how can we get this manual? And trust me, don't worry, guys, pump the brakes. We're going to divulge that information before the end of this session. But one question I have here is, I think I'm sorry if I murder your name, Nyabise Renatus from Tanzania. Wow. I have a question for my case. I'm in Tanzania. How do I get the opportunity to participate in this initiative? So name I think I'll leave that to both of you. I think that's the question for now. I have a comment, wonderful, awesome, have really great comments. So yeah, that's okay. So another from the same person, the program is wonderful. It's of great impact. I have a question. Okay, so just a repeat of his or her question. So that's all for now. And if your hands are raised, I don't think I see any hands raised. So if you have any other question or comment, please raise your hand and feel free to unmute yourself. Miss O, over to you.
All right, Margaret, do you mind responding to the question?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm trying to get the name again just so that I can mention. Meanwhile, like Quinn did mention, we're going to make sure we get it to you. I mean, the soft copy, and let you know how you can get a copy. That's even where to start from. Anya Bise, I hope I don't murder this name. Just forgive me if I do. So thank you for your interest and thank you for joining in from Tanzania. We're glad that we're launching something that is tangible, and that's this manual. And we believe that while we know that there are different scenarios and different situations, but we think that in Africa, we share a lot of similarities. So this manual has been developed for girls in Nigeria. However, we know that the realities, the situations are pretty much the same across the globe, even outside, whether it's in the South or it's in wherever we find ourselves. So how can you be part of this initiative once we drop the link for you to be able to download the copy? We do appreciate you to help us disseminate. Use it, reach out to us if there are other opportunities if you want us to also walk you through even how to create safe spaces, depending on the specific request or kind of support that you would like, or partnership, we can take it up even after this meeting. But what I'm saying right now is the one way that I see is that once we share the link for this manual, you can do well to help us in disseminating depending on the different platforms that you currently have. So it's like leveraging. If you already speak to girls, maybe you belong to a non-governmental organization and you're working with girls, this is one manual that you want to share with them, and let's take it up from there. Again, we will be sharing the link. The link also takes you to our website, and we have all of our contacts, so you can reach us even after this time. I will just stop there. I don't know if Oyinye would like to add something, but thank you for the interest once again.
Thank you so much, Margaret. I don't think there's anything I want to add. For the sake of time, we'll just go on to the next question. I hope that answered your question, Nyabise. And we will also drop our email addresses because we know there would be opportunities for further partnership and collaboration. So we'll drop our email addresses so you can reach out to us. Okay, David from Kenya, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much for the opportunity. I'm just worried. I tried to type, but I could not manage to convince myself with the typing. So the question is, being that the program is in Nigeria, but based on my work, I work with women and I work with young girls, and we have a program with the young girls. So how will the program, or how can the program help me to achieve the mentorship program, or also help other girls that we currently work with within Kenya? Hello.
We can hear you now. I think we lost you for a minute. Go ahead, David.
Okay, thank you. My name is David from Kenya, Kisumu. I'm currently working with the young women and girls with the different programs. We have Girls Talk and other programs that we work with young girls. But being that the program is in Nigeria, the project is in Nigeria and it's being done in Nigeria. So my question is, how will the program benefit us, those who are not in Nigeria? And how can we maybe get some a mentorship or maybe guidance so that we can continue with the whatever we are doing also back in Kenya, not only in Nigeria?
I'm sorry, David. I got a call that distracted me a bit, but I think your question was about how can people in Kenya benefit from this?
Yes, that's the main question.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I'm really excited that you're interested. I've been to Kenya in 2012. So Kisumu, I'm familiar with Kisumu, some of Nairobi. So I look forward to maybe potentially coming to Kenya again and meeting you, David, so we can work on disseminating this manual all across Kenya. But
Thank you. You are welcome in Kisumu. You are welcome.
Thank you. But the short answer to your question would be follow up with me via email. I will drop my email in the chat box. Please follow up with me and we'll discuss how we can move this forward. Okay, we're going to try to respect everyone's time. We're over our 1 hour limit, but we'll be wrapping up in 4 minutes. Are there any other pressing questions so that I can go ahead and share how you can download this manual, and members of my team will drop the link in the chat box because I know that's what people want to see and get. A note on downloading, of course, this is a free resource. We ask that you all, of course, acknowledge Segai and Swag as the creators of this manual. And we're actually also open to your feedback on how we can strengthen the content of this manual. As I said, we are also in conversation with the government in Nigeria to think about how can we scale this up beyond the 36 girls we worked with? How can we get inputs from other girls across Nigeria? And to David's point, we would love to know, are there opportunities to bring this to other countries? And I think the first step would be to bring girls from other countries. Well, we meet in another country, bring girls together, get their thoughts, engage their parents, and add more to developing this manual. And it can now be a manual that even represents all of Africa, well, to the extent that we can. But we realized that nobody has done this before, at least in my research. I didn't see anything like this, and I feel like it's a great need amongst our adolescent girls. So please reach out to us. We're open to learning how we can strengthen this manual. And in terms of a next step, I know I'm going overboard. Okay, let me stop there because Margaret will tell us the next step. Let me just share with you where you can download this manual from. And then my colleagues can also put it in the chat box. So, all right, I hope you can all see the screen. It says how to download the manual. Once you go to the Segai or Swag websites, the websites are listed on your screen. Once you go there, you will see the link for, I think on the Swag website, it's called Downloads under Resources. And on the Segai website, you will find this document under Publications. But my colleagues are also posting in the chat box the direct link that will take you to this document. So for now, it's only available as a soft copy. And we're hoping that we will get some funders or even some individuals who say, I want to bring this to my church. I want to bring this to my school. I want to bring this to my community. Can we collaborate to make hard copies? We will definitely work with you to print these manuals so that they look like a handbook or a booklet. We have some cool ideas in mind, but we need funding. So if you're willing to partner with us, we would be able to print some hard copies. All right. I know you've heard a lot from me. Let me bring on my co-partner, Margaret, as we wrap up today's event. So Margaret, please come back online with me and share any final words you have with the group.
Okay, so again, we do not have time, but this is me for saying thank you so very much for joining from wherever you have joined. That shows how much you're passionate and interested in seeing girls grow, Onyinye has pretty much showed and also shared how you can partner. You can partner by printing hard copies. Currently, we do not have hard copies of this document, but we're looking at working with different partners and stakeholders to ensure we get it printed, because we do understand that while there are girls, all there are girls in rural communities who do not have this privilege. So we want to make sure that we're leaving no one behind. The other thing is also, please disseminate this news, this launch document at different platforms that you can find summit, conferences, specifically to read. Feel free to reach out to us. We will drop our emails for really supporting and standing with your girls to have come this far. Thank you to our amazing mentors. I mean, at no cost, because I mean, the stipend was for data, it was still not enough, but you say thank you to the ministry, department, agencies, relevant one with regards to this development, and to thank you to Onyinye, who really poured herself and took a job. I mean, it was like, oh, we have to make this happen and make it really happen big, and make sure we're tying all the knots and we're crossing the T's, the I's, dotting the I's, and what have you. So thank you so much, Onyinye, for your amazing. She led the development of this particular manual, and of course to the SWAT team. Thank you so much for making sure that you're attending all of those meetings to make sure it comes to light, and to everyone really for your time, for your support, and for your commitment in advance, committing to ensuring that you make sure we disseminate this document. Thank you. Let it not be just another document on the shelf or on the internet. Let it be a document that will change lives. And that change begins from you, it begins from I. So let's get on it. Let's get to the real work, which is disseminating and making use of it. Thank you so much. Bye from me. Over to you, Onyinye.
All right, please, can we take a group picture? I don't want to miss getting a shot with David from Kenya, or Nyabise, and our Tanzanian colleagues. I saw someone from Zimbabwe, Nigeria, of course. My love is always with Nigeria. So please, can we turn on our cameras for a quick shot? I'm supposed to run off to another meeting now, so I just have like 1 minute to do this. Please turn on your camera, sharp, 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 sharp. You don't know, Michelle Obama might see this picture and be like, ooh, I need to connect with that person. All right, are we ready? Are we ready? Okay, I don't see many cameras up, so but I'm about to do this. I'm giving you 3 seconds. In 3, 2, 1. Everybody say, oh wait, my hair needs to look nice. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, same here, same here.
All right. I see you, I see you. Are you good? Are you good?
Yes, I am.
Okay, in 3, 2, 1. All right, let me catch the people on the other screen. In 3, 2, 1, say cheese. Awesome, awesome. All right, thank you so much, everyone. Feel free to watch this replay on YouTube. And we've posted, please, Queen, I hope you've posted our email addresses. We respond to email addresses. I would put our numbers, but I know we will get bombarded, but we respond to emails. So please reach out to us via email. And of course, many of you have my number, you have Margaret's number. Please also reach out to us. Happy weekend, happy International Day of the Girl, because we're celebrating girls all month long. And girls are wonderful. Thank you to Debbie. Thank you to Mrs. Aderonke. Thank you to Mrs. Piton. And thank you to each and every one of us. Bye. We're out of here.